All right, so you finally got a 5.3 or a 6.0 sitting on the stand. That's a great accomplishment, right? The cam's in, the gaskets are fresh, and now you have to stare down the one thing that actually probably kills project cars. Well, it's the wiring. You hop online for some help, and every single Facebook market group and forum, they just pair the same thing, right? Every single time. Just buy a Holley. And look, I totally get the temptation. You get a shiny new harness, a little screen, and supposedly it tunes itself, right? When you're staring at greasy 20-year-old rat nest GM wires, dropping $1,500 just to make the headache go away starts sounding like a pretty good deal to me. But here's, okay, so hear me out though. If you're just building a street car, a weekend cruiser, or like a basic budget turbo setup, blowing that kind of money on like a standalone ECU right now out of the gate might be a huge mistake. And here's why though. It's not just an easy button, right? It might be just a fast way to drain the budget build, like on electronics and like stuff you don't need. And when you still need desperately a fuel system, a clutch, just all the other stuff you can ever imagine, right, in your build. And the cost can kind of add up quick. So let's talk about why the ugly factory GM computer is actually an absolute tank and what self-tuning actually means, and how to get your swap running right without spending a month's rent on a shiny box. Always have to give a shout out right before we start to you guys. Thank you for everything you do, right? Watching my videos, supporting, commenting. It's really fun to interact with you guys every day, so I really appreciate everything from you guys, and yeah, let's get into it. Hey, and give this video a like. That really helps the algorithm, and stay and watch the whole thing for things that you probably didn't know. Also, our goal is 5K subs. Let's see if we can get that by the end of March. All right, let's talk about the money aspect, because this is where the budget builds usually don't tend to go right at all. You see the base Holley Terminator X online for $1,300 and think, I mean, that's all right. I can swing that. It's worth it just to make a wiring nightmare go away. And usually I tend to agree, but if you're actually going to put one of these in your car, you know that $1,300 is literally just the cover charge, because suddenly your stock engine gauges don't talk to the new computer, so you need the digital dash. Bam, that's another $1,000. Then you start adding like the wideband O2 sensor, fuel pressure, transducers, adapters with the throttle body or the AIC valve, and next thing you know, you're in it for like $2.5 grand. You just spent 5 times the cost of a junkyard 5.3 just to tell it to fire the spark plug. But the main reason why people bite the bullet is the marketing. They hear the phrase self-tuning and think it's straight up magic. Like you just plug in the harness, tap the touchscreen 3 times, and the car is magically just ready to go. And well, it's not really how it works, but like self-tuning is just a shiny marketing term that is like for closed loop fuel correction. All that box is doing is looking up your exhaust through like the wideband, seeing if rich or lean, right? And then adding or pulling fuel to hit the target number. And that's about it. It doesn't set your ignition timing. It has no clue if your injectors are flowing right, or if you have a massive vacuum leak. If your base timing is way too aggressive for the pump gas that you put in it, the Holley isn't going to magically save you. If you do go and do like a 3rd gear pull on like a base map without actually dialing it in first, the computer will happily self-tune into your connecting rod straight through the oil pan. So you kind of have to really know what you're doing. You still have to understand the basics of tuning, or you're still going to have to pay like a professional to dial it for you. So if you're dropping $2 grand purely so you don't have to learn how to tune, you're paying for a feature that doesn't actually exist. So then what is the move? I hate to say it, but it is that ugly grease-covered silver box that came bolted onto your junkyard motor. People do look at that 20-year-old GM computer and just assume it's trash. But you have to remember, General Motors spent tens of millions of dollars and thousands of hours engineering software inside that thing. It already knows how to handle cold starts, idle transitions, and daily driving in ways that a lot of expensive aftermarket systems actually struggle with right out of the box. And think about it, because like first up, like the wiring harness, yes, the stock one looks terrifying, but if you got a free weekend, some wire cutters, and a roll of like Tessa tape, you can literally go to lt1swap.com, pull up the pinouts, and thin that harness out yourself for free. Just chop out the emissions junk and keep what actually runs the engine. But hey, if you absolutely hate wiring and you can buy just a brand new standalone harness made specifically for factory PCM, like for $300 to $400 online, then you gotta tune it. You gotta drop about $400 on like HP Tuner's MPVI device and another 100 on the credits to unlock the specific computer. So for roughly $500 to $800 total, you've got yourself a clean harness, a fully capable ECU, and now you own the industry standard tuning software for life. You can rig your own codes, log your own data, and make your own tweaks. And I already know the turbo guys are hovering over their keyboards right now typing, yeah, the stock computer can't handle boosts. Yes, it can. With HP Tuners, you literally can click a drop-down menu and upgrade the factory OS in a 2 or 3 bar speed density setup. Sloppy mechanics guys proved a decade ago that you can shove 1,000 horsepower through a stick of 0411 PCM with an eBay turbo and like pump gas. The computer really honestly doesn't care. Plus, if you're running an electric transmission like the 4L60E or the 4L80E, the factory PCM already knows exactly how to shift it. You don't have to buy a separate $600 transmission controller, it's already baked in. Now, let me be clear before the Holley guys completely nuke my content section, alright? I am not saying standalone systems are garbage, okay? Companies like Holley, Haltech, and Fieldtech make absolutely engineering masterpieces, right? And there is definitely a point where you have to upgrade. If you're building like a dedicated track car and need advanced boost controller by gear so you don't like blow the tires off, buy the standalone, right? It's a great choice. If you're spraying multiple stages of dry nitrous and need the computer to pull the exact timing the millisecond those solenoids click open, get the standalone. If you need rolling anti-lag, trans brake bump control, or advanced engine protection that kills the motor in the seconds you'll lose the oil pressure, yes, then you can spend the money on a standalone. But let's be real for a second, how many people are actually doing that, right? Most of the guys I see dropping $2,000 on a Terminator X are bolting it up to a junkyard 5.3 with a slappy stage 2 cam and an LS6 intake and an old 4L80E. They just want a fun street car that sounds choppy at the red light and can gap scat packs on the highway, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And if that's all you're doing, you're paying for features that you'll literally never touch. You're buying like a supercomputer to do math with your fingers. Okay, and I just kind of wanted to touch on this point a little more. I can already hear some of you saying this, but I have no idea how to use HP tuners. I'm going to completely blow my engine up. That is the absolute best part about sticking with the factory GM computer. The community support is completely unmatched because budget builders have been doing this for 20 years. You don't have to start from scratch. You can literally log into the HP tuners tune repository or go look into like the sloppy mechanics tune cabinet and download a free base file for like the 5.3 with your exact cam and your exact injector setup that someone else already spent hours dialing in. You download it, copy, paste the data, flash it to your PCM, and the project car starts and idles on the very first hit. I will say, if you buy a brand new out-of-the-box standalone, good luck finding the level of free open source community sharing when you buy a brand new one. It's been done, but the resources are very limited. So look, at the end of the day, you really probably don't need it. Stop letting guys on the internet spend your money for you and build a car that you can actually afford to finish. Again, the factory GM computer has been running some of the fastest, sketchiest, most reliable budget street cars on the planet for 2 decades now. Put some respect on the 0411 PCM. Just take a weekend to learn some like basics on how to read like data logs and keep $1,000 in your pocket. And to be honest with you, the engine is really only half the battle. And speaking of things that might completely drain your bank account or wallet for no reason, if you missed last week's video where we ranked the best manual transmissions to put in your car, why don't you go watch the video? Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one on Torquesavvy. Peace.